All right, today we are going to dive into something just so cool. It's a brilliant piece of world building, a clock, but not just any clock. This is a clock designed to keep two entirely different planets in sync. We're going to explore how this white clock manages to solve what seems like an impossible problem.
So let's kick things off with a problem you've probably faced. I mean, we've all felt that headache of trying to schedule a meeting across different time zones, right? It's a pain. But what if your colleague wasn't just in another country? What if they were on another planet? A planet where their day isn't even the same length as yours. Yeah, how on earth do you even begin to coordinate that?
Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First up, we'll dig into why this is such a monster of a problem to begin with. Then, we'll introduce the really elegant solution they came up with. After that, we'll uncover the one super simple rule that makes the whole thing tick. We'll see it in action with a real example, and then, and this is my favorite part, we'll get into the surprisingly deep philosophy behind it all.
First up, a tale of two clocks. This is the core of the issue, right? The fundamental challenge of how you get two worlds to agree on what time it is when their days just aren't the same.
Right, so on one hand, you've got Earth. We know this one, 24 hours. Simple. On the other hand, you have Arreqqana, and their day is measured in 48 pulses. They're just completely different units, apples and oranges. You can't just slap a conversion chart on it. There's no common ground. So, what do? Well, the solution is to build a kind of universal time translator. And this is where we get to meet this incredibly elegant piece of engineering called the white clock. So what exactly is it? The white clock, or Qhiya-Zero as it's known locally, is basically the master clock. Think of it as a neutral, totally culture-free reference point that doesn't belong to Earth or Arreqqana. Its only job is to bridge that massive gap between them.
And what makes it so neutral is really what it doesn't have. It's not tied to any specific region. It's not based on the sun or the moon, so there's no day or night. It has zero cultural baggage, none of our AM or PM stuff. It's just pure, abstract time.
And believe me, this isn't just some neat theoretical idea. This clock is absolutely essential for things that have to be precise. We're talking coordinating spaceflight, logging official court records. It's even what allows a human and an Arreqqani to actually have a conversation in real time. It's that important.
Now, all of this might sound incredibly complicated, but here's the beautiful part. It's not. And that brings us to our third section, the one rule to sync them all. The entire brilliant system is built on one single, elegant mechanic.
And here it is, the secret sauce, the golden rule. It all comes down to this one simple number. 2. That's it. For every single hour that passes on Earth, exactly 2 of these Qhiya pulses go by. That's the bedrock of the entire system. And it makes sense, right? 24 Earth hours times 2 gives you 48 Arreqqana pulses. This is the law that holds it all together.
So, from that one simple law, we get this really handy little rule of thumb. If you want to convert from Earth's 24-hour clock, it's super easy. You just take whatever the hour is on Earth, multiply it by 2, and then add 1. Boom. That little bit of math gives you the exact current pulse on that neutral white clock.
Okay, theory is great, but let's actually see this thing in action. In this next section, we're going to do a step-by-step walkthrough. We'll take a time on Earth and figure out exactly what time it would be in a specific city on Arreqqana.
And the process is really straightforward. First, we start with our time on Earth. Second, we use that little formula to figure out the neutral white clock pulse. Then, we add a regional offset, which is basically just like a time zone. And fourth, we arrive at the final, local time on Arreqqana. Simple as that.
So let's use 1600, or 4 p.m. Earth time for our example. We take the hour, 16, and just plug it into the formula. Okay, 16 times 2 is 32, add 1, and we get 33. So the neutral, universal white clock time is pulse 33. That's our anchor point.
But of course, pulse 33 isn't the final answer for someone actually living on Arreqqana. To get their local time, we have to apply that regional offset, which is called the Arreqqana Hourly World Standard Time, or AHWST. And it's just simple addition.
And check this out, this is where the magic happens. Our one universal time, pulse 33, it kind of fans out into all these different local times. So if you're on the coast with their +1 offset, it's 34 p.m. for you. But if you're over in the city with its +8 offset, it's 41 p.m. It's the exact same moment in time, but it translates to all these different yet perfectly synchronized local times on the ground. So cool.
Okay, now for what I think is the most interesting part, the why. Let's talk about the philosophy of white time. I mean, why that name? What's it all about?
You know, the name white clock wasn't an accident. It's deeply intentional. White was chosen because of what it represents. It's a blank slate. It's unmarked, it's unbiased, it's neutral. It has no connection to a sun or a moon, so there's no concept of day or night. It's just completely stripped of any cultural weight, which makes it acceptable to everyone involved.
And this whole philosophy is perfectly summed up in this powerful in-world saying, when truth must speak, it speaks in white time. Wow. That just elevates the clock from being a simple tool to being the standard for objectivity itself.
And this isn't just a nice little saying. It's baked into their laws and customs. In the most important situations you can imagine, we're talking court records, astronomical data, even the telling of official histories. The white clock time is always stated first. It's seen as the primary reality, the source of truth, before any local subjective interpretation gets added on top.
And that's where we'll leave it. I mean, usually a clock is just a tool, right? It tells you when you're late for a meeting. But here, it's so much more. So the question to chew on is this. What does it really mean when a culture's very idea of truth is tied to a clock that is intentionally, deliberately separated from the sun, the moon, and the natural pulse of their own world? It's a fascinating thought. Thanks so much for diving in with me.